Hey guys, what's up? Tyler here with T-Game & Tech, and today I'm bringing you guys a little bit of a comparison video, or a versus video if you want to call it, between the iPad 2 and the Nexus 7. And this is just going to be in general for all iPads versus the Nexus 7, both models against both models. I'm not using like iPad 2 3G LTE 4.17 or whatever versus the Nexus 7 16 gigabyte. We're just going to take two ideas of the iPad and the Nexus 7, compare them with each other and see which one's better, and if you can even compare them. We're just going to start with the iPad, and we're going to treat this like it's the new iPad even though it's the iPad 2, just for comparison's sake. And so we have a pretty thin tablet, and we have a 4:3 frame, and we have a Retina display. Like I said, we're treating it like the new iPad. It has a Retina display, it would have Siri, and it has some basic cameras, an okay front-facing camera, an okay back camera. Don't ever take pictures like this because you look dumb. And it has iOS, and iOS is fairly simple to use. It's not hard to figure out. You have your tabbed icon layout, easy to figure out, and you probably can't see because it's blocked out by all the light and blinded out. But easy to use interface, a lot of screen real estate. That's one really nice thing about the iPad. Screen real estate is plenty, and there's plenty of room to do stuff, plenty of room to type a document, to watch a movie. Even though you might have some letterboxing if you watch a HD movie, but if you watch a standard definition TV show, like I watched Netflix, I watched the Spider-Man 1994 animated series, which you should watch on Netflix. I watched that on here, and it filled up the whole screen. It was really nice. Other than that, it has a speaker on the back. I mean, you have your headphone port, and you have your lock button. Basically, that's all there is to the iPad. There's a lot of app support, a lot of great apps. And so now we're just going to look at the Nexus 7, and this is Google's version of a 7-inch tablet. As you can see, a lot smaller, big difference. You can tell right here. And so this is running Jelly Bean, and which is a much more kind of advanced OS, more customizable. You can do all kinds of things. We have widgets here, and you can just add whatever you want really to it. You can change the way things look, and there's a light glare right there. I'm sorry. But notifications are a little bit more advanced, and overall it's a more futuristic, not really futuristic, but a more up-to-date OS experience. iOS really isn't as innovative as Jelly Bean is. Jelly Bean is doing a couple more different things as far as widgets and making things actually run smoothly with those widgets. And so we don't have any physical buttons on the Nexus 7. We have a 7-inch screen, and it is HD 720p. And so it is nice. It has a nice aspect ratio for watching videos on YouTube that are HD. Fills up the whole screen. You have a little bit of black on top and bottom. That's just like 80 pixels because it's a 1280 by 800 display. And so it does have a front-facing camera. I'm glad Google didn't put one on the back because there's no use to be taking pictures like this. This front-facing camera works great for things like Skype. The Nexus 7 has Google Now. It really works pretty nice. As of right now, iOS 6 isn't out yet officially. Google Now is better than Siri, but iOS 6 and Siri is supposed to be updated, so Siri can do a couple more things, such as sports and movies and some other stuff. But as for Google Now, right now, Google Now is the better of the two. And so that's just a really quick overlook of the two tablets. This is by no means supposed to be a full review. This is just a quick overlook at the two tablets. Now you may say, which tablet should I get? Well, the new iPad starts at $500, and the Nexus 7 starts at $200. That's a pretty big difference. That's $300 in difference. And you can get different models and different devices, but for baseline, $500 and $200 are completely two different opposite ends of the spectrum. I mean, $300 is a lot for most people. And so you might say, which one should I get? And which one's better? Well, you can't really compare them. They're two really different devices. I use my iPad for things completely different than my Nexus 7. For example, if I was still out of school, and I did use this out of school, I would take this to class before my Nexus 7 because this is a lot easier to take notes on. I can take a Bluetooth keyboard. I've typed up papers on this. I wouldn't want to type papers up on a 7-inch screen because you're only going to be able to see this much of the actual screen. This much. That's not much to see. That much compared to that. That's actually a lot whenever you're typing up a document, if you want to look back at what you've actually written. And so I would take this to class and use it more for productivity. I'd be typing papers on this. I'd be doing presentations on this. I would actually take this to interviews. And I did a lot of video in school, so I took this along with into an interview and showed video off of this. I wouldn't take really video to show off the Nexus 7. Even though it is made for HD video like 16:9, I would still take this because not that this isn't a professional device, just in my opinion this would work better in a business interview situation because you can do more things and it's still a pretty big screen. And by the time you get rid of the letterboxing, the size probably is pretty close to the Nexus 7 as terms as video. And so overall, this is more of a productive and more professional. Like I said, not saying the Nexus 7 isn't professional, but I would take this to more of a productive setting. And now the Nexus 7 is basically what I use for consumption and entertainment. I watch all my YouTube videos on here if I'm walking around the house, and it's a lot easier to carry. I can actually fit this in my pocket. You can hold it with one hand. You can hold the iPad with one hand, but you have your thumb in the middle of the screen. If you hold it like this, I mean, it's almost falling off. It's just sticking on the back of my hand because I have bodyguards on it. And you can't really like hold onto it. I mean, if you move your hand, it might slip and fall. But with the Nexus 7, got a pretty good grip on it. Your fingers really don't cover the screen. You can hold it like this. I mean, it's much more portable than the iPad. And so I use this whenever I'm not on my phone to look at Twitter, to look at YouTube, to look at all kinds of things, just to consume. And the nice thing about the Nexus 7 is that phone apps and tablet apps look great on it because it's not too big of a screen like the Transformer Prime by Asus, and it's not too small of a screen like the Galaxy S3 where it's a little bit smaller than this. And so phone and tablet apps look good on here, but I will say that tablet support is better on the iPad, and that's why I'd use this more in productive situations and more business situations. But as far as entertainment and just consuming media, I definitely use the Nexus 7 for that. And so if you're debating what you should buy, do not debate as in like pure specs because it's just not really, that's like comparing a laptop to a desktop. You can't compare them spec-wise like that because they're two completely different things for two completely different purposes. And so if you're looking for something to consume, I would get the Nexus 7. If you're looking to be more productive and consume a little bit, I'd get the iPad. And like I said, the iPad does come in at a higher price point, but you are getting a lot more app support, a lot more apps in general. And Android is getting more, but you're just getting a bigger screen and an overall more productive experience. But that saying, $200 isn't that much for a tablet. And to get this, I mean, this is a pretty thin tablet itself, and it's very solid, the best 7-inch tablet on the market in my opinion. And so $200 for an entertainment tablet is really good, and I'd highly suggest it. I own both, and I use both. I've seen some people starting to sell their Nexus 7 off. I don't know why, if they're going to get the Kindle Fire HD or what, but I use both of them for different things, and I do believe there is a spot for the 7-inch tablet in the marketplace and in people's homes, along with desktops, laptops, and a regular full-size tablet and phones. And so if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the Nexus 7 and the iPad, and let me know what you would use each for. If you have both of them, what do you use them for? And if you think I'm completely wrong and that one device is better than another, let me know in the comments below. But my final verdict is that you can't compare them solely beside each other. They're two different devices for two different purposes. And so that's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to check me out on all my social links below. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more tech and game related videos. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.